Hey everyone, so a friend of mine yesterday called me and asked me how to become a data engineer like you. So I walked him through the whole roadmap step by step, exactly how I would do it from the start again. And I thought, why not sharing it with you? And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Bara and I have a master's degree in data engineering, and I have been leading big data and data engineering projects at companies like Mercedes Benz over a decade now. And through the years, I have interviewed and hired many data engineers in my projects. And we are starting right now. Let's start with the first question. What is a data engineer? Data engineering is like the engine room behind every data-driven company. You are the engineer. You are the one that's gonna go and move, transform, and store massive amount of data. So my friend, that means you are not building a shiny dashboard or you are building front ends. You are as a data engineer behind the scenes, but you go and expose the hidden, complex, important data of the company and you bring it to a suitable platform so that others can do smart things with the data. So after I explained it like this, I asked my friends, pause for a second and ask yourself, does moving and transform the data around something that excites you? Do you like to build such a data ecosystems for the companies? If yes, then welcome to the club, and now I'm gonna show you exactly how to be a data engineer. So let's go. Okay, so now I have built the whole roadmap for data engineering using Notion. Notion is an amazing tool in order to create a plan for you. And for my private project, I use always this tool. So I have prepared everything for you in this template. You can find the link to this template in the description. And I have splitted the whole journey into 3 main phases. The first phase is the core skills. Here you have to build your technical foundations. You have to focus on only what matters for data engineers. So this is very critical phase where it's gonna prepare everything for you in order to start applying for jobs. Now, once you have all the foundations, you move to the phase number 2, where you have to get hired. So you have to build your CV, LinkedIn, get a repository for your portfolio, and start applying massively for jobs. Now, once you find a job, or maybe you're still waiting for a job, we can move to the phase number 3, the level up. Here it's time to gain more advanced skills to grow as a professional data engineer. So now let's go through those 3 phases one by one, and we're gonna start with the phase number 1, where we're gonna build your core skills. Now my friends, I still remember in 2012, as I started my journey in data engineering, I was totally overwhelmed. There were many programming languages, tools, databases, weird terms that I never understood. And to be honest, I felt like drowning in tech, and guess what? Now it's even worse. Now there are like thousands of new tools, technologies, platforms, buzzwords, and my friend, no, you don't need to learn all of them. So if you feel like lost, overloaded, don't worry, you are not alone. I have been there. So now we're gonna go and narrow everything to only 7 steps. And in this phase, you have to focus only on those. So now let's start with the first skill, the SQL. If you go and click open, you will get a new page and there you can find more content. So now for SQL, this is not negotiable. SQL is the language of data, and most of the companies stores their data in database, and you as a data engineer, you must learn SQL to talk to the data, because you're going to use SQL in order to get the data out of the databases. As well, we use it in order to clean and transform the data in the pipelines. So SQL is a must for all data engineers and the first skill that you have to learn. And as well, it is very easy to learn. Now after that, I have listed here the tools that you need in order to learn this skill, and here you're going to find the most popular databases like the SQL Server, Postgres, MySQL, and as well my recommendations from my side. I recommend to learn SQL Server because it is very friendly and as well very similar to the cloud services like the Azure Synapse. But again, it doesn't matter which tool you are using. The most important thing is that you are learning SQL. Now I have listed for you here the must learn skills in SQL. So you have to learn the basics, how to query the data, how to join and combine multiple tables, and how to use the very important window functions, and as well some advanced techniques like the CTE. It is very important in SQL, the common table expression, in order to make clean and reusable logic inside your queries. And I have listed for you here few resources. If you don't know that already, in my channel there is a free course, 30 hours of only SQL. I have given everything that I know in SQL in this course, using very interactive sketches and simple examples. But if you want to get certified, you can go to Udemy in order to enroll for the course. So the first skill is to master SQL. Now moving on to the second most important skill as a data engineer is you have to go and learn Python. So let's go as well inside it and check the same thing. Now before as a data engineer you had to learn a lot of programming languages, but now things are easier. It is for everyone clear, Python here is a winner and dominating in the data world. So my friends, this is the only programming language that you have to master as a data engineer. Compared to the other programming languages, it is really easy to learn and to master. So as a data engineer, Python is your engine. You can use it in order to connect your solution with multiple sources, maybe to files, APIs, to Kafka, and start as well transforming your data, automating tasks, building workflows, and so on. And now for the tools, in order to learn Python, you need Visual Studio Code or the Jupyter Notebook. My recommendation is to use the Visual Studio Code because in real serious projects, you will end up using the Visual Studio Code, and it would be nice if you get yourself comfortable with the Visual Studio Code at the start. So now the most important skills that you have to learn in Python, you have to learn the variables and the data types. You have to understand, and this is very important, the data structures. So master all those types, list, tables, dictionary sets. I promise you, you will be ending up using it in data engineering. And of course, we have to learn about the functions to make things reusable. And now we come to something that you really need to master, how to work with files using Python. As a data engineer, you will be reading and writing massive amount of files and data. So you have to learn and handle like different types of files. And the most important ones in like real projects, the CSV files and JSON files, and as well other types like the XML, a Delta file, a Parquet files, and all those stuff. So you have to master how to handle files in Python. And the same things I have left for you here, few resources. Currently I started my YouTube channel, the Python course. It's gonna be as well for free. So you can check my progress in the channel and few other links. So again, Python is fundamental for data engineers. So this is the second step. Let's go to the third one. My friends, you have to learn about the Spark and the PySpark. So let's go inside. Now, my friends, the companies are generating massive amount of data, and in order to handle and process the massive amount of data, we use the Apache Spark. And in Python, in order to work with this engine, we have something called PySpark. So now, in order to practice and learn PySpark, we have here three options. Either you go with the Databricks notebook with the Community Edition, or the Visual Studio Code with the PySpark setup. And the third option as well, Jupyter Notebooks. Now this time for this skill, I'm gonna go with the Databricks Community Edition. It is very simple, free, no setup needed, and as well cloud ready. Because in the next steps, we will get more and more in the platform of Databricks. But now you don't have to understand what is exactly Databricks, only focus on learning PySpark. So what I want you to learn is, you have to understand first the concept, the Spark architecture, understand how things works behind the scenes. Then I want you to understand the core Spark objects, the RDDs and the data frames, and then start get yourself comfortable with the operations in the PySpark in order to do data transformations. And as well in Spark, we can do SQL. So learn how to write SQL style inside PySpark, inside Python. So with the PySpark, it's like you are combining Python together with the SQL. And as usual, I have left for you few resources, and I can tell you, if you learn the PySpark, you will be ready for any big data project. So my friends, this is the third and the most important, let's say, coding skill that you have to learn as a data engineer. Let's go back. Let's go back to our skills. Now we come to a skill that I was at the start not really sure whether I'm gonna add it or not, but I have met a lot of beginners in data engineers that are underestimating the Git. And they really get hired and start doing projects, but they don't have any understanding how Git works and how to work as a team using Git. And that's why I want you to be prepared better than the others. And believe me, this is one of the first things that you have to do if you join any big data projects. You have to work with the Git. So let's go inside it. And we would like to have now a system in order to control the different versions of our code. And this is exactly Git. And this is a fundamental in order to work in any project, not only data engineering, of course. We use Git in teams in order to collaborate, to push new changes, and as well to deploy our code to the target environment. And the most important skills that you have to learn is how to create a repository, how to commit new changes, how to do branching and merging, how to do the basic operators like pull, push, and clone. And sometimes if you merge something new, you might get conflicts, and you have to learn how to resolve those conflicts. So those are the most important skills that you have to learn in Git, and it's gonna make your life easier once you start in any project. So learn and understand the basics about the Git. It's gonna make everything smooth and easy, especially for your first project and for your first job. So this is the skill number 4 in our roadmap. Now we come to something serious. We have to learn the data pipelines. So let's go inside it. Now, once you enter the data engineering world, you will hear this term a lot, data pipelines. So far we have learned how to write a code, how to do transformations, but still we don't have a system yet, right? It is just few scripts left and right. Now it's time to build a system. We have to build a system that moves and transforms the data from A to B. And as a data engineer, building this system is your main responsibility. You have to build the pipelines that's gonna move the data from A to B. And for that we have like multiple tools. The free and open source one is the Apache Airflow. And another tool, if you have an access to Databricks, you can use the workflows. This one, it's not free. You have to have like a premium account. And the same thing goes for the Azure Data Factory. If you have already an access to the Azure services, you can use Data Factory in order to build the pipelines. So again, you don't have to learn all those 3. It's enough to learn only one. And here it's really depend on your situation. Do you have an access to Databricks premium account? Then go and learn the Databricks workflow. Or an Azure service, go with the Data Factory. Otherwise, if you want something free and you are learning now, you can go with the Airflow. Again, the tool here is not really important. What is important is to learn the basics, how to build a pipeline. So the skills that you have to learn is, and this is again another buzzword in data, you have to learn what is ETL and ELT processing. So go and understand those concepts and learn the differences between them, and then start learning how to build a very simple pipeline, how to move the data, move a file from one location to another. And of course, my friends, those pipelines breaks. And as a data engineer, you have to build a very solid one where it handles the errors and as well it writes logs somewhere. So this can help the team to quickly identify the issues and solve them. Now we come to a very important skill that you have to learn is how to do data orchestration and scheduling. It's nice that you have built a pipeline, but you have to run it every day. And every day we have to move the new data from the sources to the target. So you have to learn how to schedule your pipelines to run every day and as well how to automate those pipelines. And as usual, I have included here for you few resources. So this is the skill number 5. Let's go back. Now we come to the skill number 6, the data platform. Let's go inside it. So my friends, in companies, we have to have like a platform, a modern cloud platform where we can store, process and analyze our data. And currently the big players in this domain are Databricks, Snowflake and BigQuery. So currently, as a data engineer, if you have a skill in one of those 3 platforms, you will be instantly valued more than many other data engineers. So you don't have to go and learn all those 3 platforms, you have to go and pick one. For me, I have been working and specialized in Databricks. And as well, the nice thing there is a free community edition. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of those data platforms and tools. I'm just giving you my honest opinion for you. So now let's say that you have decided for Databricks, and here are the must-learn skills in the platform. You have to understand the basics, how to create notebooks, clusters, how to run and use Databricks SQL, how to create the data pipelines using workflows. This is sadly not included in the free edition. Same things for the Unity catalog, it's not free. You have to understand how Unity catalog works and how to build there a solution. I have left here as well for you few resources, and now I really recommend you to take this certification. Go and get yourself certified as a data engineering by Databricks. It's very simple and easy to get. So my friend, I can tell you honestly, if you learn one of those big boys, Databricks or Snowflake, BigQuery, your chances to get a job are very strong. And as well as an interviewer, I always check for those skills. Does the data engineer has the skills to work with modern data platform? Alright, so this is for the skill number 6. And my friends, with that you have learned the basic skills to be a data engineer, but we are not done yet. You have to go and do at least one data engineering project. So this is the last step in this phase. Let's go inside. So far you have mastered a lot of skills, but it's time to put everything together in one project. And here the option that you have is to build like a data warehouse, or what I recommend you is to build a data lake house. I have in YouTube here a full project step by step on how to build a data warehouse, but using only the SQL skill. You will understand a lot of data engineering concepts, like what is a data warehouse, lake house, what are the ETLs, how to build the Medallion architecture step by step, and as well you will learn some data modeling skills on how to build a star schema. You can make it as a portfolio project and as well put it in your resume and as well in LinkedIn. Another option which is as well very strong is to go and build a lakehouse using Databricks, and you can get as well from Databricks certified. This is the second certification that is very relevant as a data engineer, the fundamentals of the lakehouse platform. So I can say this is one of the most important steps that you can do in your journey. So now once you are done with those 7 steps, I can tell you now you have the fundamentals to be a data engineer. And if you ask me how long this is gonna take to learn all those skills, it really depends first on your free time, but I can say at least 1 year. But if it takes a little bit more than 1 year, it's totally fine, don't worry about it. But I can say maximum 20 months. If it takes more than that, either you are slow or you are learning many other skills that are not needed or not included in this plan. And now, my friends, I can say you are ready for the phase number 2. You have to get yourself hired. Now, in this phase, the first thing that you have to do is to build a strong CV. And you don't have to go and dump everything that you have done in your life. So highlight 1-2 technical projects. Tell a data engineer story. Make a very clean section about the tech stack and only relevant experience in the data world. Keep it simple, and my friend, please make it only 1 page. Now, once you have your CV, go immediately to LinkedIn. This is not anymore an option. It is the first place where the recruiter is gonna go. So make a real nice photo that you will use as well in the CV. Make a strong, clean, nice header. Pin as well your GitHub and the project at the start. And at this phase as well, I recommend you to start posting in LinkedIn. Make a target that weekly you will go and post something about data engineering or data. Now moving to the third step, and this one is gonna make you stand out of the crowd. Build a strong GitHub portfolio. If you have a strong one, it's gonna make you shine. Because at this phase at your career, it's really hard to prove that you have an experience. You didn't work before as a data engineer, maybe this is your first time, and anything gonna help you in this phase to get you hired. You don't have to go and build like 20 repositories about your skills. Like for SQL, gonna have one, for Python another one, and third one for a project. So it's enough to have like 2-3 repositories in the GitHub, but they must look clean and strong. So take time writing your README file and make sure that your code that you are publishing in GitHub, it is clean and organized, has a comments. It is just a really nice window for the recruiter in order to understand, this developer gonna do nice stuff in my projects. All what you have to show is that you have built something. So now once you have those 3 things, now you are ready to start searching for jobs. And this is really emotional step. And I can tell you from my experience, it was really random. For my very first job in Germany, it was after the first application I got accepted. But after a few years, I wanted to move to a second company to find a new job, and here it was catastrophic. I have applied over 100 jobs and I got accepted only like 8 times. It was not easy because I thought after 2-3 years as a data engineer in a real company, I'm gonna get accepted right away. It was for me a reality check, and as well I have learned that don't overthink it. It is, my friend, totally random. Most of people and even experienced people get stuck in this phase, and some people get emotional about their rejections. It is totally, my friend, waste of time and as well waste of energy. It's not really about you, it's about the market, the timing and fit. So only worry about the things that you can control. Keep applying, keep adjusting your CV, your profiles, and keep learning new stuff. And I am 100% sure, if you keep doing this, you will end up having a job as a data engineer. And now, my friends, at this point, you have like 2 scenarios. Either now you are applying for multiple jobs and still you don't have like an answer. I am sure you have enough of time to learn something new to go in the phase 3. Or the other scenario, maybe you are already landed for your first data engineering job. And if that's the case, then congrats from me. But still, the learning doesn't stop here. And this is a mistake that I have done in the first job. I thought, okay, I have learned everything, I have even a master's degree in data engineering, and I made it. So all I have to do is to focus on the job, and that's it. Well, my friends, at the job I have realized that there is a completely new level that I have to reach in data engineering, and there is a lot of learning to be done. So in this phase, you have to start thinking about how I'm gonna grow from a junior engineer to a senior to a professional data engineer, and even maybe a data architect. But of course, again, there are like thousands of tools and concepts, platforms out there. You cannot go and learn everything. That's why I have here now as well for you a list of skills that you have to cover in order to be a professional data engineer. So the first skill is you need cloud skills. because almost every modern data platform now runs in the cloud. And here you don't have to learn all details about cloud computing, just learn the fundamentals of one of those platforms. So either Azure by Microsoft, or AWS by Amazon, or GCP, Google Cloud. I recommend you Azure if you are doing projects in Europe. So this is the first skill. The second skill is the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So it's all about how to move your code from your laptop into a production. And here we have like many tools like the GitHub Actions, the Azure DevOps, GitLab CE, and so on. Don't skip this skill. This is really important as a data engineer. Now we come to the third skill. We have to learn the Apache Kafka. Many companies have a real-time data, and Kafka helps the companies to stream their data in real time. You don't have to become, as a data engineer, an expert of Kafka. You have just to understand the basics, like what is Kafka, how the producers and consumers work. And as a data engineer, you are a consumer, so learn how to consume data from Kafka. So those are three important technologies that you have to learn and understand. We have in data engineering many concepts that you have to understand and as well to implement in your projects. The first one is to understand the data architectures. You have to learn how to design a data system. What are the differences between data warehouse, data lake house? This one can help you to start talking like a data architect in your company and to sound like a professional data engineer. And after that, you have to master the data processing skills. Like what are the differences between batch and stream processing and how to build them, how to build incremental and full load pipelines, how to work with the historizations using the slowly changing dimensions. So it's all about the data processing. Now at the next step, you have as a data engineer as well to build data models. So you have to understand the different concept in this world. What is dimensional data modeling, the data vault, Snowflake versus star schema. So you have to understand the differences between them and how to build them. And after that, as well as a data engineer, you have to optimize the performance. So you have to understand the techniques like the data partitioning to optimize the performance and as well to reduce costs. And as well, you have to learn all the techniques in order to do logging and monitoring of your pipelines to make sure you are building a solid data system. So now in this phase, we are not just learning in order to get hired, we are learning in order to level up, in order to grow in our career. So these skills don't just make you like a good data engineer, they're gonna make you a senior data engineer. So my friends, this is not confusing, the path is very clear. Start learning SQL, Python, PySpark, learn the fundamentals about how to build a pipeline, the fundamentals about a data platform like Databricks or Snowflake, build 1-2 projects and start applying for jobs. The rest of the skills will come with the time as you are doing projects at your job. This is what happened to me. Just stay motivated and keep learning and I'm sure you will reach whatever you want. So start now, not tomorrow. Let's go. Alright my friend, one more last thing. If you really enjoyed this type of tutorials where it's free and as well I sketch those complex concepts and you want more content like this, then support the channel by subscribing, liking, commenting. This can really help with the algorithm and gonna support the channel by reaching others like you, and as well it can help me to make more content like this. And of course, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.